세계적인 베스트셀러 시크릿의 저자 론다 버니, 그녀의 시크릿 다큐멘터리 제작 과정 중 겪었던 어려움에 대해 이야기를 하고 있습니다.
And so I started with $2 million in debt, and I would just say to myself, I am abundant. And oh my gosh, I maxed every credit card I had to the limit. What's the one way that I can feel good about money? Okay, the way that I can feel good about money is if I give some away. So yeah, I just went down the street giving away this money, and I was making The Secret, and I just didn't have the money to make it.
Wow.
And I started out $2 million in debt because of a whole lot of shows that went really wrong. And so...
Because you were producing TV shows at the time.
Yeah, right. I was. $2 million in debt makes it sound like I had a lot of money. I never had anything like that money. But these particular movies that we're making, they ran over budget. And so I started with $2 million in debt. Wow. I remember I discovered The Secret, and I went to my accountant and I said, you have to do whatever it takes to keep my company afloat. I'm going to make something that's going to change the world. Oh my gosh, I maxed every credit card I had to the limit. I mortgaged my home to the absolute limit. I took overdrafts out on my company so I could make the documentary.
Wow.
And so I had crushing debt coming in on me, and I needed more money to keep making it. So it was a journey of absolute luck, you know, and the luck was just an expression of what I'd been brought up. And if anybody's been in that situation where you just don't have enough money and you've got all these bills, it's a horrible feeling, you know, and my whole body would contract, and I would know that is attracting a lack of money and that's not attracting abundance. So I used to do this thing whereby I would do gratitude and I would listen to music, and I would do as many things as I could until I felt really, really good. And I would just say to myself, I am abundant. And now's the time to open the mail, right? Well, I'm feeling really, really good. And so then I would open the bills, and I would look at each one as though it was a check. I would imagine it's a check, not a bill.
So you played a game in your mind, and you're like,
I put a game in my mind.
Here's a $100,000 check.
And I would go, wow, look at all the checks I got today. And so I would do that, you know, and then I'd open them up and I'd be like, wow, $160 check, and, you know, a $2,300 check. And I would pretend that they were, instead of $160, it was $16,000 check that was coming to me. And so it added all up, and I received all this money. So that was one of the other games that I played. And then I did something quite radical. It was an experiment and test, and all of these things I did so that I could tell what worked and what would work for people. And I thought, what's the way that I can feel really good about money? Because when you don't have enough, it's really hard to feel good about money.
Really hard,
right?
yeah.
Really hard. And so I thought, what's the one way that I can feel good about money? Okay, the way that I can feel good about money is if I give some away. And so what I did
what about if you have no money to give away?
I took it out. I took it out on my credit card.
Wow.
I took out these $20 bills on my credit card. I think I could access $100 or something. So I took out all of these $20 bills, and I thought, right, I'm going to walk down the street, and I said to the universe, show me who to give it to. And so I would walk down the street, and I was looking at everybody's faces, and then it was just amazing because the universe would just show me who to give it to. Like these kids walked out of a store and they're like counting their money. Oh, I don't have enough to get that, you know. So just, you know, gave them $20 and they're like, thanks, lady, and ran back in the store to get, you know, the ice creams or whatever they wanted. And so, yeah, I just went down the street giving away this money. That was on a Friday. And on the Monday, I received $25,000 in my account from a place that I never, ever could have expected.
Wow.
영상을 어떻게 보셨습니까? 영상 내에서 그녀가 행했던 방법들은 모두 미친 짓처럼 들리고 얼핏 보면 여러 우연들이 일치처럼 보일 수 있지만 또 한편으로는 정말 이 세상은 보이지 않는 작용 반작용의 법칙이 있지 않을까라는 의문점을 들게 만듭니다. 특히 그녀가 가진 것 한 푼 없는 상황에서 남들에게 베푼 스토리는 제가 전에 짧게 알았던 멘토 같던 분의 이야기가 생각나게 했거든요. 젊은 나이에 성공했던 그는 어느 레스토랑을 가든 식사비의 거의 40%에 달하는 막대한 팁을 주시곤 했죠. 그에게 왜 그렇게 많은 팁을 주냐고 묻는 사람들의 물음에 그는 이렇게 답했습니다. 당신들은 변상의 법칙을 모르고 있습니다. 진심을 담아 쓰는 돈은 결국 배가 되어 나에게 돌아오거든요. 그 당시에는 그냥 그런 개념도 있나 보다 하고 넘겼지만 세상을 살아갈수록 그것이 사실이란 점을 강하게 느끼게 됩니다. 아무것도 바라지 않으며 남을 위해 선물을 사면 얼마 안 가 제가 선물에 썼던 비용 이상의 좋은 일이 저에게 일어나고 몇 년 전에는 제 인생에서 재정적으로 가장 힘든 시기에 오히려 팁을 더 많이 주고 많은 사람들에게 감사하며 살기 시작했는데 하늘이 그의 보답이라도 하듯 바로 그 다음 해에 제 20대 최고의 해가 되었습니다. 정말 세상이 법칙에 의해 그렇게 흘러가는지 아니면 남에게 베풀며 돈이라는 매체의 해방이 되어 새로 잡힌 마인드로 인해 새로운 결과가 창조되는 것인지는 모르겠지만 분명 무언가는 있습니다. 여러분들의 이야기도 공유해주세요. 항상 최고의 가치를 전달하며 우리 모두를 위한 커뮤니티 형성을 꿈꾸는 성공 비밀이었습니다.
So powerful.
Right?
It's crazy.
Isn't it something?